Well, yet again working on the Eclipse, and the plans for today are pretty simple. So as you can see, I already took out a lot of things in process of trying to figure out why my dash lights are not working, and I'm pretty much on the right track right now. So let me show you what is going on. So this right here is my dimmer switch, and as you can see it's slightly melted, and that's because I have some kind of a short. My ground wire is kind of shorting with the positive, something like this, and it's heating up the dimmer switch and it's melting. So far what I did, I disconnect a bunch of like the switches here, the radio, the vents, and pretty much everything which is dimmable. So this thing here is the plug for the dimmer switch, and it does have three wires. One is green and white, the one on the right, the one on the middle it's black, and the one on the left side it's black with yellow stripe. So green and white it's 12 volt positive, and the black one is ground, and the other one is black and yellow, which is also ground. Pretty much you're jumping the black one, the ground to the other ground. Like, I mean, it's pretty much the other, you know how the bulbs have a positive and like a plus and minus. You gotta plug the one side with a plus and the other one with a minus, and it will light up. So when I plug in my switch, so let me do it right now, just like this, and when I try to turn on the dash lights, see, nothing happened. Most likely my battery is kind of dead, so I'll start the charger just a second. So now I'm going to switch the lights, and you see nothing happened, no lights, but this thing is started heating up real quick. So I'm gonna turn it off. Since I already disconnected pretty much every dimmable dash light I can think of, and the dash lights are still not working, I actually found out that there is one more plug I can disconnect, and it's this thing down here. Since the dash wiring harness for the dash include the gauge cluster, this switch here, and these vents here, and the glove box, and a few other things, and the one for the radio, for climate control, and for the doors if they have something dimmable, I don't remember. It's a different wire harness. It's the one which is connected to this one, this plug here. So as soon as I disconnect this plug here, you'll see that my dash lights will start work. You see, they're lighting up, which is a good thing. So at least I know in which direction I should start looking. Is from this wire harness, this direction, and which include, like I told you, the radio, this thing, I think something on the door, because I see this wire here, the yellow, the black and yellow, and I think there's something dimmable here, but I'm not quite sure. That's why I took off the door panels, since I was trying to disconnect the doors. Like, I was thinking the switches here, for these switches, actually I already disconnected. I was thinking this thing is lighting up and it's dimmable, but probably is not. And I was hoping that the problem is here, but is not. So I'll have to remove the dash. I'm gonna remove the dash anyway, since I'm going to swap it out with the black one, and the door panels will swap them with the black one, the central console. So I'm gonna start disassembling everything, but first let me show you one more thing, so you get the idea if someone have the same problem with the dimmer switch. I'm going to turn on the white switch, and we are going to measure the voltage coming from these wires. So green and white is 12 volts. So when I plug this in, you'll see the multimeter will show 12 volts. The black lead is connected to the ground down there, and the middle one, it's ground, the middle wire, which is black, and the black and yellow, it's also ground. But when you try to measure the black and yellow when everything is disconnected, you will see that it will show us 12 volts, and this is where the people are getting confused, because they tell you that you can jump the dimmer switch with the black and yellow, and when they measure black and yellow and give us and you see 12 volts, everybody is scared to jump them, since nobody want to do this, but this is because actually this is coming from the 12 volts from the green and white, which is passing through the lights. And for example, right now, if I unplug my gauge cluster, and right now nothing is connected to the whole wiring harness, you will see that I will no longer have 12 volts on this wire. You see, no 12 volts, but I will still have 12 volts on the green and white. And you're getting 12 volts on the black and yellow wire when the gauge cluster is plugged in, because the 12 volts are passing through the bulbs. Since we are not feeding the bulb with a negative, with like a minus on the other side, let's say for example this is the dash light bulb, we are feeding 12 volts on this side, and on this is the other side, let's say this is minus, this is plus, so we are feeding plus on this side, but we are not feeding nothing on this side, and the 12 volts are passing through the bulb and going on the other side, but these 12 volts are like a really, the amperage is really low, and there's a lot of resistance here, so it's not like a 12 volts, and as soon as we feed it with a negative, the bulb will light up, and that's what is happening. We are jumping the black wire here with the black and yellow, and we can light up the dash. And the dimmer switch, what it's actually doing, when I plugged in the dimmer switch and I measure the voltage here, when the lights are kind of dim, not all the way up, we can see 3 volts passing through the negative wire. So I don't know if you get it, but that's basically how it works. My problem with the black and yellow wire is that I'm actually getting a real 12 volts from here, and when I try to use the dimmer switch, I'm jumping 12, so positive and negative, and that's why the dimmer switch is heating up and melting. And if I decided to bypass it, like they say, it will melt some wires, or at first most likely I'm gonna pop a fuse, but if the fuse doesn't pop, it will start melting the wires. So now I'm gonna remove the dash and try to find out what is going on. So luckily I found out where is the problem real quick. I was disconnecting all the wires to remove the dash, and I saw this wiring harness for my radio. This is like a adapter. You're going to plug in this to the original wiring harness for the radio, and it's gonna transfer to this, which is gonna go to my aftermarket radio. So what was wrong is pretty much these two wires were shorted together. For some reason I cut them off and taped them off, and at the beginning everything was working, but I don't know, they shorted. I mean, this was pretty dumb thing to do, but that's what I did, I guess. So these two wires are corresponding to black and yellow and to green and white. So I was jumping to 12 volts to the ground. Pretty dumb from my side, but this radio came from my Eagle Talon, and I kinda just took it from there, and probably I was in a rush and I just cut it, wasn't thinking what's going on. Pretty rookie mistake, I guess. But at least I found out where is the problem, and as you can see right now, my dash lights are working, the plug is connected, and dash lights are working, which is a great thing. At least it saved me a lot of time. The only bad thing is I kind of burned the dimmer switch, doesn't work anymore, but that was expected since I did a lot of tests, and the last time when I did the test, actually it pop the fuse for the tail lights. But at least now everything is fixed. Now I just have to remove the dash and swap it out. I'm ready to pull out the dash, but first let me show you some of the hidden bolts. You have one bolt here, and on the other side the same thing, and two bolts over here, and pretty much the rest of them are visible. You have some on the side, underneath here, but you will see them once you start taking apart everything. And now for the wiring harnesses, you need to disconnect these two plugs, this one and this one. You see they're together and they're right over there on the back, this one and this one. And for this side you need to disconnect this one, which I showed you already. And you have one more. It's by the fuse box. Let me show you. It's right over there, up there, this one. This is the other plug that you need to disconnect. Otherwise you'll find out later, but it's gonna be too late and it's not gonna be comfortable to disconnect the plug after this. So I just need to pull out the dash now, but I'm not quite sure that I will be able to pull it out without removing the steering wheel. This one is Eve 8 steering wheel, so it's a little bit smaller than the factory steering wheel, so I might be able to pull it out without taking off the steering wheel. I don't remember if I try to take off the dash with this steering wheel. I'm pretty sure with the big one, with the original one, I wasn't able to. Maybe there is a way, but I'm not sure. I'll give it a shot again with a smaller steering wheel, but I don't think it will happen, but we'll see. Hopefully it will, because I'm lazy to take off the steering wheel. It's not a big deal, but I'll save some time. Guess you can take it off. Maybe even with a factory steering wheel we can take it off, since right now it's kind of sideways, if you can see. And I think I'll be able to pull it out without breaking anything. That's the main thing. I'm not really worried if something breaks, since I do have spare parts. Just the problem is my other car is too close. I put something to protect the door, but hopefully I won't do anything stupid and messed up my door. But let's see. Dash is almost out, and you see under what angle you have to take it off. The dash is out of the way, and this is how the interior look without the dash. I just need to clean up this area a little bit, since it's a little bit dirty, not too bad. And I'm going to run some extra wires here, since I'm planning to do something in the future. And here is the old dash. You already saw it 1,000 times, and it's in really bad shape. But good thing the spare one is pretty much in perfect condition. Here's the new dash. I already transferred all the wiring from the old one, and I cleaned it up really good with soap and a steam washer. And now I'm pretty much ready to put everything back together, but first let me show you what else I have done. So I ran some wires to the inside, these 10 gauge wires. This one is for the fuel pump rewire, and the other one is going straight to the dash, since I need some 12 volts to there. And this one is for the underglow lining, which I'm planning to install, but we'll see. I'm not 100% sure. And I ran the wires through this hole down here. Pretty much this is the only option you have. And the one for the fuel pump is going through this direction. It's going to this direction, going bam 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 bam, and it's going up to here. I still need to put it somewhere over here. I'll see if I'm gonna rewire the pump, since my pump is fine for now, and I think I'm running 190 fuel pump on this one, and the other one is going through here up to the radio. And I'm using this relay. So pretty much previously my gauges were fed from the radio, but now I'm only gonna use the radio power to wake up the relay, to turn on the relay, and then the 12 volts is gonna go up to the gauges. And I also ran 12 volts up to here, since I'm planning to mount a Raspberry Pi here. I already have everything, and it's like a small computer, and I'm gonna have two buttons somewhere here, one for the underglow and the other one for the Raspberry Pi. And I'm gonna connect the Diassembly to the Raspberry Pi. You will see when I am ready to install the Raspberry Pi. So let me show you what else I have done, but it's on the other side. Just a moment. So I ran a bunch of new wires up to the gauges, since I bought two new gauges. And let me get the flashlight. I fixed all the wiring which were underneath here. It's still quite a mess, but I don't want to cut and splice the wires or solder them, since it's way too much work, but it's fine like this. So I ran from the ECU to the gauges some new wires, since one of the gauges have the boost and the RPM, and the other one is the oil temperature and the oil pressure. These two wires which I ran through the fender liner, under the fender liner, right through over here, actually, right here. So these two wires, I still need to tuck them somewhere, but we'll see later. And these are my new gauges, actually, since I have the same brand. It's my wider band. I decided to buy this one. For the red Eclipse, they have the dual option. This one is the oil temperature and the oil pressure, and this one is the boost and the RPM. I kind of don't like how overload they are. They're not that, like, I mean, comparing to the AM one, which I have on my silver Eclipse. This one a little bit more aggressive. My door handle is broken. So this one are a little bit like this piece, the plastic piece, does look more aggressive. I like it better, but we'll see when I mount the new ones. They're gonna be fine. And now I'm just gonna put the new dash back on. Oh, I also did redid this crap here for the vents. I put some new foam, so should be fine. Actually, this is my second time doing this. The old one was redid once, and hopefully this one is a little bit more heavy duty foam, and it will be better. It's gonna last longer. The old one was probably 5, 6, 7 years old, something like this. And one more thing I forgot to show you. It's about the HVAC unit. You know how they are supposed to light up, but most of them are not working, and that's because you do have a bulb on the back. You see this red wire? This is the socket for the bulb. You have to twist it counterclockwise, and it's kind of difficult to remove, but most likely you can remove this button, since I see a clip, and you can have a better access to the bulb housing. But I'm not sure, I don't want to play with it. But if you're wondering why your HVAC unit is not lighting up, is because you do have a bulb there, and the size of the bulb is the same as the ashtray and your lighter. And also your gauge cluster have the same bulbs. Most of them are the small size, this one, and they do sell some LED ones, but I don't want to put the LED bulb here, since it's really difficult to take off, and I don't want to risk it, since I know the LED bulbs don't last way too long most of the time, especially when they're cheap. I'm going to spray paint the airbag, since it's gray, and I bought this spray paint. It seems supposed to be a good interior paint. We'll see, hopefully it's gonna hold up. It's a bit cold outside, but not too bad. At least the humidity is down. It's like a 34% humidity and 60 Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So let's see how it will turn out. This is how it turned out after about 2 coats. I didn't wait between the coats, so it's kind of one coat, but it's pretty good actually. At least it looks good. Hopefully it will hold up. I will do one more coat one or two more coats, but the cover is, I think it's pretty close to the stock one. It does look like it came out like this. It's not spray paint, and this is after 3 coats. The dash is mounted and it does look quite good. It's really nice seeing a black dash in the Eclipse. The airbag cover, which I spray paint, it's pretty close match. You can't actually tell the difference between the factory and the spray paint. So this spray paint is quite good. Hopefully it will hold up. That's the only question in my mind, if this is gonna hold up. But we'll see, the time will tell. I'm planning to end the video here since I do have a lot of things to do to the interior, so I'm gonna split it to 2-3 parts. I still need to do the headliner, the door covers, and here some little details, which is gonna take a while, but hopefully it will worth it. But for now, at least it look kinda finished. I mean, it's not empty, which is a good thing. Alright guys, thanks for watching and see you on the next one.